The procedure we're going to use for our prep on this wall is to treat it first with a CPR, which is a log cleaner, and I'm going to start at the bottom. I will be applying it with a brush, saturating the logs, and work up. It's always best to start at the bottom and work up. The CPR should then stay on the logs for anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes to allow the cleaner to start to work. I also, on especially the heavily weathered areas, will be brushing it with a bristle brush. After 5 to 10 minutes, then we'll come back with the pressure washing unit and do a fairly aggressive pressure wash to help finish clean those logs. I'm going to begin by applying the CPR solution to these logs. This is just a small section, so I will just do it with a brush. If we're doing a larger house, typically I would spray the CPR on either with a good quality backpack sprayer or garden sprayer. Also can be applied with an airless sprayer for those that have that available. But a brush will work just fine. And the secret is just to, again, starting at the bottom and totally saturate this wood. Start with this bottom log. You can see this starting to fizz a little bit. The CPR is actually a type of a oxygen bleach. Hydrogen peroxide actually is what's doing the cleaning. And it's relatively safe to the environment. Also not highly toxic, so it's a very safe cleaner compared to a lot of the stuff that's out there. It does a very good job of cleaning up the gray in most cases and helping us get these logs prepped so that they'll take stain. You only want to do a section big enough that you can come back and do the final washing, rinsing it down good before everything dries out. So sometimes it's only doing 1 or 2 logs across a log wall and making sure that it stays misted down so it doesn't dry out completely. And I'm going to keep watching this while it works for the next few minutes, keeping it wet. But on these areas that are very weathered, I'm also going to do some scrubbing very quickly with a stiff bristle brush. You want to use a standard bristles, not wire brushes. The wire brushes could potentially rust and cause some staining in the wood. We've now begun our prep work on this wall by applying the CPR, scrubbing it with a scrub brush, especially in these places where we're down to bare wood. Now we're going to move on to the pressure washing. Technique is the critical thing on pressure washing. It's not necessarily the size or the pressure of the washer itself. It is the operator, how close you get to the wood, how quickly you move. What we don't want to have you do is anything like this, and I'll show you some of the marks that makes. Want to make sure that we come through all the way across on the log and don't stop. We need to be just close enough based upon the pressure washer that you're using to make sure that it's taking off the loose and deteriorated wood fibers, but not so close that it's actually breaking up good solid wood. After I get through with the washing, I go back to the top. And you'll notice if I stand further away, all I'm doing now is just kind of rinsing it off, not doing a lot of pressure washing. Sometimes people do not do adequate prep work if they stay too far back. You might as well just be misting it with a garden hose.